Hey, and happy Monday morning, everyone. Today is March 6th. Oh, no, it's May,
May.
May 6th. Oh, my gosh. It's May 6th, 2024. I was trying to back it up a little bit like I needed a do-over or something. Oh, my gosh. Well, it's Monday, May 6th. I cannot believe we're already in May. Jacque and I both live in Arizona. How fun is that? And today I get to spotlight Jacque Zoccoli. I'm telling you, Jacque, there are so many wonderful things you do, but I would say the way that you utilize the tool LinkedIn, that's why we're going live on LinkedIn today as well. The way that you utilize that tool, you've really began and continued and now is really in the thresholds of building that global impact. Do you want to tell us and the listeners who you are and the steps that you started taking to achieve that?
Yeah, obviously, Jacque Zoccoli, we got that one down. As I started my own business, I was frustrated and was unable to figure out how to be of service to people that I spoke to. I didn't want to buy their insurance. I didn't want to buy their products, but how could I help them? And it didn't take long for me to figure out that when I literally gave them an alliance, someone who would see their target audience and who was also addressing that target audience and thought that they were the greatest thing since sliced bread, they would tell the same target audience. So I began to look at people and find out what their expertise was and their need. And then I would imagine who else was going on that path with them, an
Mm,
alliance. And then when I found that when I went to people and said, look in your database, the people that are your customers could easily be alliances. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. But the only thing is that my database is in a shoebox or it's in a drawer. So I thought, it's not going to work. So I went to the largest platform of database in the world, as far as I'm concerned, has 1 billion members in LinkedIn. Facebook is the chips and dips. LinkedIn is the meat, and those are people that are serious about business. That's why I play in LinkedIn. However, when I talk to my clients or the people that I am interfaced with, they were frustrated because LinkedIn is so big. There's so many ways you can get to people, and it's just overpowering. It's intimidating, and people think I'm selling to them. Well, you got to build the relationship. So that's when I got to LinkedIn and began to simplify it step by step. You don't have to use all the bells and whistles. When I taught CorelDRAW in community college, I didn't teach them all the things about the nodes and the ins and the outs and everything. I just told them how to move stuff around and how to put it in the right place. Same thing with LinkedIn. We simplify the steps to find intentionally the people with the big mouth, with a whole big, different, huge sphere of influence that think you're wonderful. And then
well,
how to work with
Jacque,
them.
yeah,
That's
how
the
do they
thing.
do that? Like,
How
can you
how to
can you
work
give
with
them
them.
like
That's
one
the
tip?
big formula. What?
Yeah, give them a tip. How do they do that? Give them one tip.
Okay. The simple thing, and people don't take advantage of this whole thing, is that as with anything we do, once we clearly say who we want in probably no more than 4 words, and I really go that far. Let's say it's Colleen Biggs. She's real excited about women business owners. Well, that's a bit broad. However, you could do that. Maybe she's speaking, let's say she's focusing this month on coaches. Maybe it's empowerment coaches. So she puts in the URL either in her own connections, or if she's talking to me in mutual connections and says Empowerment Coaches Arizona. She's not going to put in there Queen Creek. That's a bit much. But if she would put in there just the state, she's going to get hundreds of people. Hundreds. What did she do? All she did was say clearly who she wanted. So that's my first step, is to define your best alliances, not customers. One customer is cool. When you get alliance that thinks you're wonderful, they tell the world, and their world is your prospects. That's why you choose them, because they have the same prospects. Then you start to work together. Does that answer your question? I
Yes, it did.
about this because it's so obvious to
I
me.
know. I know. It's so obvious to you, but it's not necessarily obvious to everyone who's watching this video. So, that was a great first tip, which is narrowing it down to people that are your alliances. Stop narrowing it down to people that are your customers, because you get a broader, and that's just a whole different way of looking at approaching using LinkedIn. And that was really what I was hoping to get from you today, because you've now made a global impact. So you want to talk to us a little bit about why that's so important for what you do. There's more than you do than just assisting individuals on how to utilize LinkedIn to the best maximum value possible. But I would love for you to talk about the global impact that you're making and why LinkedIn was your chosen path for that.
Well, to me, let me put it right down to my passion and my purpose is to create sustainability in underdeveloped communities in the world. That's my ultimate, and through love, prosperity, and peace. Now, that's pretty big. And I really have taken my whole passion. I haven't waited until whatever. Took me 50 years to get here. We could go into another whole story on that one. However, that's what I really want to do. So, what I've done with LinkedIn is to select the people who are actually serving that underdeveloped community. And I continue to collect them on LinkedIn, mostly because people give them to me, though I could go into anyone with a name that I can't even pronounce, and it's going to be in some country. And they always need something. And especially, I promote and advocate a gamified literacy app that takes the child to third grade level in 90 days. My passion is to take it to every country in the world, and 8 before February, and I'm in 4 maybe. Anyhow, that whole focus, that passion came because of LinkedIn, and I'll tell you one secret that's no longer a secret. Because of what I do in LinkedIn, a fellow I mentored, have been mentoring for 5 years, off and on, nothing dramatic. I did look to see his dowry when he was going to get married. I did see the pictures of his wedding. I found out last week he named his first child after me.
Oh, that's
Not
so
just my
amazing.
first name, Abulo Jacqueline Zoccoli Inasu. Give me a break.
Wow, that just goes to show the lives that you're touching. And I know you met someone, as we're talking about alliances. I throw these big local conferences here in Arizona, Empower and Elevate conference, and you met somebody there because they shared with me that they had a connection for you, and you were just struggling to get into a specific country, and they're like, I have a connection for you. That's what alliances can do for you.
That's right.
Again,
That's right.
I think that the narrow mind is to go directly to the customer on LinkedIn. But what you're saying is, don't go directly to the customer, build alliances with other individuals, and that in turn is going to help you attract those customers.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. I can't go to somebody and say, make me word of mouth. However, if I'm really good to somebody who I know sees who I want, it's a matter of making them happy so they'll make me happy by
Yeah.
referring. It's really that simple. Colleen, you do it in your sleep. You
I
make
do.
people happy constantly because that's your focus. I go into a
Mhm.
conversation. My only focus is to listen so intently and to figure out who would be best to go on their path next. That's the only reason I'm there. Now, nobody else does it the same way I do because they want to be in there to
Mhm.
get business. That maybe explains a lot about my business. However, I go in there concentrating on who I can place on their path. So automatically God says, "Oh, this one, that one, this one, this one, that one work. That boop, beep." Now I have to slow myself down. Okay, don't give her the whole store. Just give her one.
Yeah.
So when you go in with a conversation of who, are we going to work together? Are you the right one for me? Or better yet, how? And that's what I've been doing recently. How can we work together?
So I know that someone out there's thinking like, "Wow, how do I learn how to do this? How do I figure this out?" Because what she's saying makes a lot of sense. So I know they can go to JacquelineZoccoli.com to be able to get your more information about connecting with you and how to work with you. They can also email you at JackieZoccoli88 at gmail.com. But what is really the first step for someone to work with you? Should they book a call with you? Do you want them to book a
Yeah,
call with you? Would that
yeah,
be the
yeah,
easiest way for them to
yeah,
talk with you and say, "Hey,
yeah.
this is where I'm at on LinkedIn. Maybe I'm a new user or I have been on LinkedIn for a long time, but I really haven't leveraged LinkedIn and I have really never leveraged it to build alliances and I really want to do that." Do you have a program, Jackie, that allows them to do that?
This is my calendar one too, by the way. Yes, the steps are very simple. We have a Zoom call. I try to keep it to an hour. I get so carried away of listening. We have a Zoom call, and my whole point is to uncover your best alliance, is to figure out who your best alliance is. And by the way, the fellow that did use me as a name for his child said I was the only one that ever listened.
Mm,
And that's really important. You listen. And that's what I do. That's the whole concept. When I uncover that alliance category, and we can define it various ways, but choose one, okay? One category. Then what I do is I know enough about you now. I rewrite your about in your profile so that it's a magnetic. It's
oh.
your essence. It looks wonderful. You walk on water, though
Mm,
it's not your resume of the last 25 years. It's not. It's clean, concise. Who's your target audience? Who's your best alliance? What's
yeah.
the results you give? What is the action they need to take? Boom, 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 boom. So I rewrite it. And in a 1 hour Zoom call after our original, I come back with a rewritten, with a Word document on the screen with a recorded video session. We walk through it. Then I show you two people that I have found that are your best alliances on LinkedIn. I show you what to say to them in words that I think you can easily do yourself, teaching you how to talk to these people, how to do that formula so they want to engage.
Yeah.
And during that process, we come up with your toolbox. What are you giving them in exchange? You can't just ask them to help you without giving them something in return. So, what is
Right.
it that you do well that you can give them? Maybe it's some sort of a PDF that says tips and tricks on how to whatever. Maybe it's some sort of a kickaboo joy juice that you give them to be whatever it is that's in your toolbox. Then what is it that you do on the one-to-one? Not one-on-one, that's basketball. One-to-one. I pattern that for you. So you have all of this in one little document plus all my referrals. Now, someone said, "How long do you give me referrals?" And I said, "Well, probably no more than 25 years because
I
I
love
don't know
that.
how long I'm going to be here.
That's right.
However, as long as you're top of my mind,
I love that.
you're going to be referred."
Jackie,
That's
you
what
are
I
a
call LinkedIn made profitable.
yeah, you are a LinkedIn made profitable individual for sure. So I know anyone listening, if you really want to leverage LinkedIn to be able to build the alliances, not one client, many, many, many clients based on building these alliances, then you're definitely going to want to click on the links below, book a call with Jacque, check her out, have a conversation. Jacque, I can't thank you enough for being a member of the LEAP community, for being a valuable contributor to the women that are in the community. And it was just a pleasure to be able to spotlight you and all of your amazing talents that you have today, especially when it comes to building a global impact through LinkedIn. So, Jacque, thank you so much for being here. And to all of you, have an amazing rest of your week. Be you and be strong. Bye-bye for now.